Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Rideshare Parallel Universe, and it has been a parallel universe this morning dealing with Uber. There's a couple different things that I want to talk about this morning that I feel that a lot of people need to know about that they may not necessarily realize. So let's dive right into it. So the first thing I want to talk about is an application that Uber is promoting on Uber. It's called Get Upside. Now, what this application is supposed to be is for you to get money back when purchasing gas, groceries, blah, 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 blah. Well, I've used it twice. The first time, I wasn't really familiar with the application. So I got gas at an Exxon. But whenever I opened up the app, there's a couple different problems. One, every 3 seconds, it's asking you to give referrals. That's a huge downside. They're wanting you so that they can draw more customers in. The second thing is it shows you areas to get gas. Well, I had already filled up my car, and so I uploaded a receipt thinking that I would get money back for the gas that I purchased at that Exxon. Nope. Apparently, you can only use it at locations that they designate. Now, Uber promotes this app that you can get up to 25 cents back per gallon. Well, the gas station that I used yesterday was 3 cents a gallon. That's a kind of a steep decline. The other ones, which are Valero and Circle K, it's 1 cent a gallon. So there's no real big savings there, and more or less you're wasting your time. They want, what I'm gathering, is nothing more for you to give referrals so that they say that you can get a bigger gas back, 10 cents I think it is. Yeah, no. So needless to say, and something else too is whenever you check into the gas station, they want you to put in your ATM card information so that they can verify the purchase. Well, I don't know why, whenever all I can do is get a receipt and screenshot that up and go. So it's a little shady. You can try it if you want to. Here in Waco, we've only got 4 places that you can use it. 3 of the 4 are kind of shady gas stations, and the 4th one I use frequently, but it's kind of out of my way. So the next thing I want to really talk about, and this specifically is dealing with drivers, is it's happened to me a couple times. Is I've gotten a ride that's come across that has showed a long, 17 to 20 minutes drop off time. Because I'm a diamond driver, I can see the estimated time to drop off after pickup. Well, this morning I got a ride that came across 17 minutes. Accepted the ride, proceeded over. I picked up the guy before. He got my car and it showed 9 minutes. I said, wait a minute, this was supposed to be a 17-minute ride. I said, oh, Uber's being bad this morning. And I explained the situation to my passenger. So the first time that it happened was it was supposed to be a 20-minute ride. It was another scheduled pickup. I sat in front of the lady's house 20 minutes waiting for her. She gets in my car. It was a 7-minute ride. So what it appears Uber is doing, because they can't get drivers to accept these rides because they're scheduled pickups, is they skew the estimated drive time. Now, Uber says that it's an estimated drive time. Well, estimation is a 1 to 2 minute window to drop off, not 8 to 12 minutes. That is a huge difference. So what they're doing is they're misleading the driver because they can't get anybody to go pick the person up because it's a scheduled pickup. They've sent out the rides in so far in advance, and no driver likes a scheduled pickup. It wastes time. So they do this trying to get the driver to go. So be on the lookout for that. That's extremely important. And I actually called Uber out on it. Of course, they didn't even acknowledge my message. I said, why are you lying and misleading me to get me to accept a ride like this? No response. So that's two things. Now, the next thing I've often suspected Uber of doing is shaving time off on pickups, meaning driving to, so that they don't have to charge the passenger long distance pickup fees, so that the passenger will accept the ride. The next thing that I've long suspected Uber of doing is purposely and willfully shaving mileage off and time off, so that the passenger is not being charged as much as well too. So they're trying to benefit the driver or the passenger to accept the ride and screwing the driver over. I've noticed this on quite a few occasions, that they've purposely shaved time and mileage. Now, something else too is, if you notice that whenever you're driving, your estimated time of arrival never changes, even if you're stuck in traffic, right? Now, I think this is by design, because that's all that you're going to get paid for, my personal experience, with the exception of if you're being locked in traffic, and it's beyond your control. But if you're on your way to pick up, that time's never going to change. It could take you 40 minutes to get to that person because you're locked in traffic, the traffic's shut down, whatever the case may be, and Uber will not charge that individual that time. I've had that happen a number of times, and Uber's never charged wait time for pickup because of traffic. Never. So that's something else to be on the lookout for. Now what I want to talk about is Lyft. Low Lyft. You talking about a shady application. Last Saturday, a gentleman left his phone in my car. You're supposed to get a finder's fee for returning the item back to your car. Well, I returned the guy's phone back. I had to drive 7 miles back to deliver his phone. I had to log off to do it so that I could do it. So I lost time and I lost rides, used my gas. Day before yesterday, I asked Lyft via Twitter, where is my $15 return fee? They come back and said, well, you should get it tomorrow. That was yesterday. Haven't got anything yet. Today would be, then they tell me 2 to 4 business days. Well, I didn't 2 to 4 business days to return the item back to the individual. So that was a learning lesson. I've still yet to get it. If I don't get it by tomorrow, I'm going to reach out to them again. Hey, I did what I was supposed to do as a driver. I returned someone's expensive cell phone. Where's my money? It cost me time, it cost me gas, and it cost me possible rides. This is the second time that I've returned items to passengers on Lyft and not gotten anything as a result of it. So they make a promise, they don't hold up their deal. Why? Because they want that return traffic. If they charge a passenger $15, there's a likelihood that that passenger is not going to return to use that application. When it's not our fault that the passenger left their item inside of our car, it's theirs. But this is something that Lyft promises, and they don't fulfill that promise. Why? Because again, they put passenger before driver. They want that repeat business. So here it is. We have 2 applications that's purposely and willfully misleading drivers for the sake of passengers, for repeat customers. And I can kind of get that. Now, something else too I want to discuss briefly is know your areas, drivers. The guy that I picked up this morning that Uber misled me to is a discounted area, meaning you can literally cut it with a knife, an area where Uber gives specific discounts. They don't charge primetime pickup fees. They don't charge anything but the ride. They don't there's no incentive for a driver to go into those areas. So therefore, they mislead a driver to get him to go in these areas, and they can't get drivers to go into these areas. Drivers consistently always turn them down for that specific reason. is because they cannot get drivers to go in these areas because they're discounted areas. These are areas that typically do not use a whole lot of ride share. They throw discounts out there to attract. These individuals typically use public transportation system. And so Uber will do anything, and Lyft for that matter, to get their business. Know your areas, because these are typically out of the way areas or heavily populated areas. They're hard to get to, they're hard to get out of. They use up a lot of time, they use up a lot of gas, and typically you have to drive back out of that area to get to where you park and start all over again to wait. And while you're in that area, other drivers are sucking up the good rides. Keep that in mind. Now the final thing I want to talk about is, have you ever noticed, especially if you're a top driver like I am here in the city of Waco, that while you're out, you don't seem to be getting any rides whenever you're with the passenger, but they send you a ride after you get parked. These people, these applications know where you park regularly. They know your habits. They have AI, all right? So what I've noticed, and the reason for that is they wait until you get back is to send you back out again, is because that's how they make their money. They make their money from the time that you start the ride to pick up. And with Uber, it hides it under the booking fee. Okay? And that's where they skew it at. That's because I asked passengers, do they charge you for pickup? And they're like, yes. Well, they don't give it to us, but that's how that they make their money. The farther out that you drive for them to go pick somebody up, the more money that they make. What I highly recommend is for you to, if you know your city well, take shortcuts. The more mileage that you can cut off of that ride, the less money they make. If they're gonna work you over and cheat you out of funds, do the exact same thing to them, because then they can't rightfully or with any integrity charge the passenger for pickup fees when the driver cut mileage and time for that matter. So anyway, folks, that's all that I have for today. This has truly been a parallel universe day for me so far. We'll see how the rest of the day goes. I'm sure I will have more to talk about later on. I don't mean to post daily, but if I don't talk about it and get that information out there, then I'll forget about it. So if you happen to like my comment and that you find it helpful with your journey, if you are a driver, and that's actually going to be another topic I'm going to talk about in the future, is sneaky things passengers do to try to get you to sit out front of their house so you don't cancel the ride to get a cancellation fee, and other things that they do to keep from being charged wait time. Passengers are sneaky as hell. They will do whatever that they can not to be charged for something and try to get free stuff, which is something else I will talk about in that same video coming up. So y'all have a wonderful day. If you like my content, happen to like it, please leave a comment, and I ask that you please subscribe to my channel, and y'all have a wonderful day. Thank you.